the cattle industry meeting for their summer meeting in Denver, and joining us now is Ethan Lane with the Public Works Council and also with NCBA working together with those issues. You've been busy in D.C.
We have. The Public Lands Council really does have his plate full with all of the issues we're confronted with as ranchers operating on public lands across the West. The issues that we deal with range from the Endangered Species Act and its implementation onto things like the greater sage grouse and the resource management plans that will impact cattle producers in 11 different states across the West. Antiquities Act designations by the President that abuses the 1906 law, and a range of other issues that will impact producers on the ground.
It looks like you've had some success. The sage grouse looks like we've seen some movement there that may actually be somewhat of a win.
Well, there's not enough wood in this hotel to knock on for that particular issue just yet, but we are seeing some legislative language that we're happy with. Chairman Bishop from the House Natural Resources Committee, along with a couple other interested congressmen, have sponsored some very effective language that prevents those resource management plans from going into place over existing state management that's already very effectively managing the bird. So what we're looking for is just some relief so that those governors and those states that are doing a good job managing the species can continue that good work. We've seen a 63% increase in this sage grouse population in the last 2 years alone, and that's on the backs of that local management. So we need to continue that, and this language will give them that breathing room to continue to operate.
Over the last 7 years, this administration has really gone after using the Antiquities Act and some other things to really what some would call a huge land grab. And with that happens, that hurts ranchers' ability to graze.
It does. In fact, the last large-scale monument designation was a few months ago in Southern California, and the USDA in their press release actually bragged that President Obama has used this act more than any other president, 22 times, to lock up something on the order of 250 million acres of land and water around the country. We expect several more designations, unfortunately, before the end of this term, and they really are an impact to ranchers on the ground, not because there's an immediate loss of grazing when the designation occurs. There's typically language built into these designations that prevents that. The problem we have is that it elevates the status of otherwise multiple use ground, and all of those permit renewals down the line are then subject to unnecessary additional scrutiny and review that really isn't appropriate for the resource.
And not only, we talk a lot about the West, but really there's public lands all over the country.
That's correct. I mean, obviously the footprint is much larger in the West, but there are even designations in Maine that are being considered. So we're seeing this literally coast to coast.
All right, Ethan, if folks want to, maybe they have some concerns or want to continue to know all the things that you're doing, how is the best way to learn those things?
You can go to publiclandscouncil.org, beefusa.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. We try to get the word out as much as possible. We talk to you guys as much as we can. But yeah, we can be found in all the usual social media avenues, and there's a lot of good information on our website.
All right, thanks, Ethan.
Thanks very much.
Ethan Lane with Public Lands Council has joined us on the road in Denver. I'm Ken Rogers.